viral. Sunday's All-Star Game was a huge success. And if you had any questions about how seriously the players were taking it, check out this video the NBA released of LeBron James mic'd up throughout the game.
Appreciate it, my guy. Yes, sir. Yo, here we go, man. Two lines, let's get it. Welcome, boy. Welcome. Hey, black and white, let's have fun, man. Play hard. All right, play hard. Let's go. Some ball, rush. Kai, by yourself. Switch that. Hey, screen. Screen coming. Switch it. I got ball. I'm here. I need a hot tea. Get a shot up. What's up, LB? How you doing, baby? I love everything you do. Everything.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Hey, you doing good?
Yes, sir. Always.
How you feeling, boss?
I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Yeah,
Keep working, White. You got Clay, Russ. I got Draymond. Hey, here we go, White. Here we go.
You love that, Chris.
Man,
that's great stuff. You love that. I mean, do they show us the video if LeBron is not MVP? But I believe it for fans to be able to get behind it. And you wonder why the All-Star game was different? It's about leadership. I mean, first guy, hey, listen, man, I got him, you got him. Let's go. Let's play hard. Like that right there, man. That's a born leader. Even the layup line, 2 lines, guys. Just like you're just a kid.
About two
lines. Let's go. You over there, you over here. Let's go. Let's get this thing going. Love it.
I mean, and he is his voice the last couple games before the All-Star break, he said after each game, he's like, my voice is hoarse because I'm yelling at my guys. To see him, he was doing that with George Hill and Rodney Hood's new guys. He's doing it with Kyrie, Russ, and KD. Doesn't matter who it is. I mean, they're following him. That was really dope. That was cool.
That's what I was trying to tell you in LA when we was playing ball. Stop the ball, Nick, you got
it. CC does when he plays
my
with you?
God, that's what he does. With total strangers, with guys that he's either elbowing or breaking up fights. When that's not going on, Chris is yelling out.
He's a leader. He's a born leader. You run the show.
Yeah, born annoying. I'm out here playing. I'm smoking a cigarette, walking to the court. 8 minutes later, I'm listening to Chris Carter tell me to switch the high pick and roll.
Yeah,
not interested.
I drafted him too, like in the 3rd round. The guy was like, "That's the LeBron guy." I said, "Man, his name's Nick." Yeah. No, that's the LeBron guy.
I was out there to get shots up, man. I wasn't out there to play no defense. I was out there to get shots up, man.
All right, time for some stories to start your morning. Sounds like Andrew Luck is rehabbing well. He says he feels awesome and that a second surgery isn't an option. Nick, do you expect Luck to have a bounce-back year?
Bounce-back year, yes. Now, what I am curious to see is, will we see the version of Andrew Luck that we were always promised, which we've only seen once, the year 3 version of Andrew Luck. The 4,000-plus yards, I think it was 40 touchdowns, where Luck, okay, this is the guy we heard was the best prospect since coming out of Stanford. We didn't see that the next couple years. Now, we have since learned we didn't see that because the guy was dealing with a shoulder injury that was either undiagnosed or untreated. I'm excited to see what Andrew Luck is, because this is a guy, you know this, Chris, I had been very hard on, but he was dealing with an injury that was more extreme than I had known about. So now that if he's healthy, I want to see what he looks like.
I believe Andrew's going to look good, but it still takes some time. And it also takes some time for this franchise to change how they're going to play football. Frank Wright, give him the tools that they gave the quarterbacks in Philadelphia. An offensive line, a running game, not 1 running back, 3 running backs. So these things right here, if they're able to do those things, I believe that we're going to see the best version of Andrew Luck going forward. But, man, he's been off a lot of time. So thank goodness he's not getting that second surgery after missing the whole 2017 season.
John Gruden says he knows he'll have a big target on his back when he returns to the Raiders. He says, quote, everybody's going to want to kick my expletive. CC, do you think Gruden gets the Raiders to the playoffs?
I believe the Raiders are going to be a playoff team. Even if John Gruden, if they had Jack Del Rio, the last 2 years, they were a playoff team. Like, you would predict them winning. So now Gruden being there, I got a little cautionary, hey, John, look, listen, man, it's not about you, okay? It's about the football team. All right, let me tell you what, all the coaches in the NFL, every week, they are trying to whoop them. I don't care if you're in Buffalo, you can go to Jacksonville, they're trying to whoop that coach. So don't make it about you. Make it about the talent and the team that you're putting on the field.
I just want to clarify one thing you said real quick. What Cece was saying is the last 2 years we would have projected them to go to the playoffs. We know that last year they didn't make it.
Right.
But they were even
before the season,
right.
we were predicting they would have double-digit wins.
Absolutely. We thought they would build off their previous season enormously. I don't think they're a playoff team, and that's more about my lack of belief in Derek Carr. If John Gruden can turn Derek Carr into more of a down-the-field passer, I'll be very impressed. When you look at Derek Carr, it's a lot of dinks and dunks, low yards per attempt. That's what they need, in my eyes, to go to the next level.
He's the most talented quarterback John Gruden's had as a head coach.
Oh, yeah? That's a good point. That is true.
Moving on to college basketball, Louisville will be forced to vacate 123 wins, including their 2013 national championship. That means they'll also have to take down their championship banner. CC, what's your reaction to all of this?
It's difficult when you know you've seen the games and people win championships. Now, as a penalty, they think that taking down the banner, like it's more penal. I believe it is bad publicity for the team, and you'd like to see the banners, but we saw Louisville win. And it's hard for us to be retroactive. It's hard for me to go back 5 years and be like, you know something? Yeah, well, let's take this away. They should be penalized. I don't believe that the banners and stuff are as important as people make them out to be.
I hate the vacating of wins. It happened. Like, the reality is, this happened. Unless we found out, the only way I'd be okay with vacating wins is if you found out they had paid off the refs. The games were literally fixed. Then you can say those weren't legitimate victories. But no matter how they got those players had to go compete. And I lived for a short time in my life in Texas. And one of the Texas state mottos is come and take it. If I were Louisville, I would tell the NCAA, you want this banner? You better get some scaffolding and some ladder and come pull that sucker down, because we are leaving it hanging at the Yum Center. Like, we're not taking it down. But they obviously will. Now this also means when you look at Rick Pitino's resume, you have to be like, whatever they say his wins are, plus 123, plus the one title. You got to do math in your head. That's no fun. Like,
and it's not fun for a guy from Syracuse, too, when they talk about vacating wins.
Sensitive topic. That's right. I forgot it's a sensitive topic.
That's some shots. That's some shots. Okay.
Speaking of takeaways, for the NBA, we may have been robbed of an NBA title contender. That's at least according to Anthony Davis. He says the Pelicans could have gone all the way through the playoffs if DeMarcus Cousins didn't get hurt. Nick, are you buying this?
I don't think the Pelicans could have won 3 rounds in the West, even with Boogie Cousins. Drew Holiday's a fine player, but I don't trust their backcourt, especially in the Western Conference playoffs, where every team you play has a dominant backcourt. Now, could they have pulled off a first-round upset? Could Boogie and the Brow have been the 2 best players on the court for a series where you don't have an answer? Absolutely. But could they have sustained that for the 6 weeks necessary to make it to the NBA Finals? I don't believe it. Now I'm curious to see what they do with Boogie in this coming free agency, but no, I'm not buying it.
They would have made problems. They would have had problems for Golden State. In round 1, round 2, they're the 7th, 8th seed right now. Like, yes, that's a tough matchup. Do I see them win a couple games in a 7-game series? Yes, but they don't have the tools that it takes. And you mentioned the point guard play or the backcourt play, especially in the West. Man, the guards are so strong. So they wouldn't be able to win that first series against Houston or against Golden State. But they give them a lot of problems.
Finally, Hall of Famer Jerry West had strong words for the future of the NBA. He said basketball is, quote, going to overtake all the other sports. CC, what's the future of the NBA across the sports landscape?
Oh, I think it's bright. I think the NBA is on the major come up. If you look at the amount of attention the NBA gets, forget about the daily basis, but in the off season, the traction, the summer league. Man, the 3-on-3 league on FS1. Man, these things were so popular through the summer. I mean, Vegas, sellout records in Vegas. I mean, it's 150 degrees in Vegas. People are flocking to Vegas just to see the summer league. Now, people say, well, man, with KD going west, like it didn't help the game. It didn't help from a competitive balance standpoint, but the popularity of the league in the last 5 years, it's as popular as I've ever seen it. The one thing I don't think the reason why it will overtake football, it's not because I played football. It's the fantasy football and the betting that happens on the weekend. NBA games, they are hard to bet 82 games. But when you have 16 games scheduled, you have fantasy football, you have fans more wired into who the players are at an all-time level. So, yes, the NBA, it is popular, but I believe that football will be there for a while.
What the NBA has going for it is the available talent. Because it's the second most played sport in the world, you can pull players off almost every continent. I mean, we looked at the NBA All-Star game. Joel Embiid is from Cameroon. Giannis is from Greece. Like LeBron's obviously from Ohio. You have guys from all over the world to replenish your talent. Also, I would just remind people that would say football will be king forever. This does tend in this country to be cyclical. Over the last 100 years, the following sports have been the most popular sport at one point in time: horse racing, boxing, baseball, basketball, and pro football. Now, pro football has had a dominant run, and I don't buy into this idea that football's dying, as some people do. If for no other reason, then the lowest rated football game is still higher rated than everything other than like Game 7 of an NBA Finals, and just a mediocre NFL playoff game is going to outrate most championship games for baseball, football, or basketball, certainly hockey. But I do think that the NBA can close the gap. The one thing I would say is this. I remember what Isaiah Thomas sat here yesterday and said, that if LeBron doesn't stay in Cleveland, CC, he would go to Golden State. That would, all the progress the league has made, that would erase it in one fell swoop. Like that man's one decision, to me, could kneecap the league's not only popularity, but some of its credibility over the next few years. Now, I don't think that's going to happen, but the NFL's not susceptible to that. Like, if Tom Brady retires tomorrow, the league's popularity doesn't take any significant hit. If LeBron were to retire, or if he were to join the Warriors, that drastically changes the popularity of the league.
Right, and one thing, several things that the football has going for him, it's just not pro football. You have college football. You have high school football. Now, on the flip side, as far as basketball is concerned, we're less interested in college basketball. We're less interested in high school basketball because it's very, very fragmented with the AAU game. So, for me, those other programs and NCAA coming up with a rule. I believe if they stayed longer in college, 2 or 3 years, they'll make the college game stronger, keep the fan base so you can follow the players into the NBA. So I believe that the lack of high school dominance in basketball is going to hurt the overall popularity of the game. But I love the game, though.
Yeah. But you love another game a little more.
Well, I mean, I got love. Listen, I'm the kind of man, I'm a big man. I got enough love to go around for both of them.
We need it. We need it. So let's get back to the NFL and the draft. Our own Joel Klatt put out his first mock draft.
It's mock draft season
Of the year. You ready? You ready, Nick?
Let's do this.
You can check out the whole thing at foxsports.com. Klatt has 3 quarterbacks going in the top 6. Sam Darnold going number 1 overall to the Browns. Baker Mayfield going at number 5 to the Broncos, and Josh Rosen going 6 overall to the Jets. CC, would Sam Darnold be the right pick for the Browns at number 1?
I wouldn't argue with this pick. I believe that Sam Darnold is going to be the best pro of all the quarterbacks. Sam Darnold, he's been a star, not only in high school, but he's been a star at USC, led them to Pac-12 championships. That's one of my problems with Josh Rosen. Like, what has he won there? Like, they're in the Pac-12. It's not great defenses there. Like, if you are a franchise quarterback, you can't win a Pac-12 title. Like, so for me, Sam Darnold has all the things that I want from a quarterback. He can make every throw. He has a quick enough release. I believe his passing will be refined. He'll get even more accurate. And I just believe in critical situations, man, he was so impressive, bringing his teams back in the 4th quarter. To me, he is the #1 guy. And then after that, it's just a matter of style. What do you like? Do you want to go with potential? Do you want to go with Rosen? Do you want to go with the wild card in Baker Mayfield? But I believe that the Browns, they would have gotten the quarterback situation right. Now, I don't believe that playing right now, like, don't draft him, but I didn't say playing right now. So if you decide to play him right now, then I might have to change my critique. Is it the right spot? Because these quarterbacks, they all need some time to develop.
Real quick, before I give my thoughts on this, one of the things you've been concerned about both the California quarterbacks is that you looked it up. Both of their hometowns have beach at the end of the name. They then both played in Southern California. When it comes, let's not worry about Rosen, but Darnold, the guy that we're talking here. Any concern about him, you always talk about the weather. Cleveland is not exactly a tropical climate. You have concern there?
Yeah, I have concern, but when you look at 2 of the top 3 quarterbacks, they're from California. So for me, I need to get to the combine. I want to see which kid wants to be there in the interviews. Josh Rosen, he's already been on record as saying, I don't want to be in Cleveland. So for me, that would move the other quarterbacks, even if he's a little higher than them. I don't want him there because every day you got to be in love with this job. And then there's some ugly parts to the game. And if you make up your mind you don't want to be in a place and they go ahead and pluck you and make you be there, no, that's another reason why Sam Darnold. I want to see their hand size. I want to see the interview. But I just believe that Sam Darnold has the body, the arm, and the brain to be a successful quarterback in the NFL.
All right, Cece, I got one of my theories. Are you ready for this? So I'm gonna
put my seatbelt.
All right, I'm gonna use Joel Klatt's mock draft for a moment. So he's got 3 quarterbacks in the top 6, but he does not have a quarterback going 2 or 3. To the Giants, he has them taking Barkley, and obviously the Colts, if they say they would not be drafting a quarterback. The Browns have the 4th pick as well. He has them taking Minkah Fitzpatrick, but leave that alone for a moment. If I'm Cleveland, I am strongly considering taking a quarterback at number 1 and taking a quarterback at number 4. Because guess what? If you miss on number 1, it won't matter how good Minkah Fitzpatrick or Saquon Barkley or any of these other non-quarterback positions are. Because guess what? The problem with Cleveland for as long as I've known the Browns, it's been you don't have a quarterback. And it's not like you've ruined the... If you're right that they're both good, then you can trade one of them in the future for a draft pick. If one of them's not good, that could have been the guy you took at number 1 and you would have been screwed. This is something I know, unlike how I think Kirk Cousins' contract might be structured, I think that might actually happen. I think we have reason to believe that someone could go off the board on that. It would be shocking if Cleveland does this. But if I'm Cleveland, I'm the new brain trust in Cleveland. I'm asking myself this question. To me, it's all about objectives. What is our singular objective of this draft? Getting our franchise quarterback. What's the best chance we have? Well, if there's a couple in this draft, or if there's one but we don't know who he is, I would strongly consider drafting 2 guys, letting them compete. Let them compete through training camp, preseason.
The only way I would allow you to do that, it's a crazy idea, is if they were 2 different styles. If you decide to go for Darnold with the number 1, and then the other pick you decide to go for Baker Mayfield. Like, that would be the only way. But with the collective bargaining agreement, with the practice time, the practice has been cut down. So now you've compromised the number 1 pick because he's getting ready to split his reps, and he's not ready to be under the pressure of the 4th pick every day. All the questions with the press conferences and the team. I mean, who's Joe Thomas going to say is the quarterback? I don't know, man. No, the 4th pick had a better day today. So you're splitting the reps, and also you're going to smash the confidence of one of these kids. So what you might think might be trade bait, it might be jacked up by the time, because from a mental standpoint, he's not going to get the confidence and the reps to be able to take over the team and to take over the locker room. So, yes, in theory, on paper, it works. But now when you look at the collective bargaining agreement and the lack of reps and what you can do with the quarterback, I mean, how do you have the press conference? Well, who's the starter? I don't know.
Whoever's better. They're going to compete. It's about competition. Best man wins.
Yeah, but when the competition is based on you only have 100 plays that you can run, and now we have to split them. So now I'm compromising the kid who we think is the best player in the draft, because that's the guy who you're going to pay more money to. So what if the guy number 4, who you're paying less money to, then he beats out the number 1 guy? Then how much value does the number 1 pick have now, because he got beat out by the number 4 guy, and he has the biggest contract of the draft pool? But I don't know nothing about football.
No, those are all good points. I still like my idea.
That's why they don't have me in the meeting.
No, not in the draft.
We got someone else coming on that may have some crazy ideas.
Well, let's do that.
So get ready for it. Coming up, what's gone wrong for the Celtics? Chris Mannix.
Oh, yeah, there we go. That's cool.
He's here. He's here.
It's like make a wish.
He's ready to tell us.
It's like make a wish. If you want to wish, I wish Nick Wright would stop.